better loving than me. I'm in the living room listening to Get BBC. The KCUK is me. Got tired of packing them, pounding by you. Asked him out and all that pig and play. Maybe you and me and him were meant to be. Just maybe think of me once in the pile. The KCUK is me.
The KCUK, it's cock time, baby. Ladies and gentlemen, you're not going to believe what happened yesterday with KC Armstrong. Okay? Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Oh, God. So the night before, Wednesday night, Casey was going to do a show with the coach. And as we're noticing, we've only watched 2 KC shows, but it seems to be a running theme that A, no one wants to come on his show, and B, even if they did, he couldn't figure out how to get him on. So Thursday night, I see he's posted that he's going live with a show called KC and the Lawyer. And Vince the Lawyer. Now, I don't know who Vince the Lawyer is. Once I saw him, I recognized him from a stream the previous day with Shuley and company. So I imagine he's in that world somehow. After watching an hour of this guy, I have a lot of doubts that he is a lawyer or ever was a lawyer. Maybe, maybe not. What he definitely is 100% is a troll. And Casey is so dumb that he doesn't realize he has agreed to do a program with a guy who is doing nothing but trolling him. Doing nothing but trolling him. I mean, it's not even subtle, but Casey is so thick and stupid. He's like Ray. He's so self-involved in his own thoughts and head. He's not really listening to what other people are saying or asking him. That's evident from the pink blanket ordeal. People are like, we want to know about the pink blanket. He's like, I'm not talking about who paid for the hotel. And it's like, Ray, we're not asking about that. We're asking about the pink blanket. Yeah, well, I told you I didn't want to talk about the hotel and who paid for the hotel. And it's like, Ray, he's not listening. So he's just getting madder and madder at some argument he's having in his own head that the rest of us aren't privy to, and we don't understand why he's melting down. So that is KC. He's literally an hour and 49-minute show, and who knows how much we'll get through today. I can't imagine. I watched maybe 20 minutes of it. This guy is broken. For a guy who wants to pretend like he's done something in life, let me tell you something, motherfucker. Car salesmen should be more proud of their careers than KC Armstrong, formerly of The Stern Show. Everyone has written in to let me know you weren't a whackpecker. You were a producer. People can say whatever they want. I've had a lot of Stern experts yell at me in emails overnight telling me he 100% was a producer, a real producer whose job it was to plan events, plan segments, and execute those segments on air, to be an integral part of executing produced segments on air. Not Beetlejuice, not where we wheel him in on some sort of little parade float and make him do a little midget dance. That's not what he was. So this guy wants to pretend like he had a career in radio, like he's knowledgeable about broadcasting. That's the standard we're going to hold him to when he wags his finger at everybody with his stupid lisp. Ladies and gentlemen, last night's KC Armstrong hour. This is fucking unreal. You're going to love the way you look. He always comes on for a minute before he goes live. He always has to come on.
us in. And I thank you all for joining us. I got a great show tonight.
You don't.
Very, very, very excited for my guest tonight. But
you want to let your face know? This is very excited. This is very, very, very excited for my guest today.
Before I do that, I do have to say something to the audience very quickly.
Oh, boy. And by the way, last night we get 150 people in his chat. It's all onions. This guy, just so you know, is used to doing a show for 8 people. I'm not kidding. He's used to doing a program for 8 live viewers. He had 150 people in his chat last night asking about the onions, half cuck, all this stuff. He was frazzled. And this guy Vince couldn't stop trolling him. It's so good. We'd love to talk to Vince. Reach out to Vince.
And I won't keep my guest waiting. I am embarrassed, and I'd like to apologize.
Oh, no.
Guys. Apparently, I reacted to someone who wasn't very kind. I guess I got mad because, like, they were saying, and we're talking about someone who doesn't have more than like 5,000, views on any of their things.
Vince, sorry, Vince, KC, honey, 8 people watch your show. 8. You couldn't sell 100 anything if you tried. No one's watching your show. KC, you have 2.4 thousand subscribers. 8 people watch the show live. You're a stumbling, mumbling fool. This isn't the angle of attack for you where you go like, nobody even watches this guy. It's like, that's not the vector of attack. Now, I'm not pretending that's a big show in the context of big shows. And certainly on YouTube, we're not like giant. I understand that. I get it. But like this angle where you're like, and he doesn't even get more than, 5,000 views on everything. It's like, do you want to go through your catalog of videos and find one with 5,000 views? I'll wait. I don't know. I'm sure maybe he has one, but most of the shows, again, the one he put up the other day had 8 viewers, and when you pulled it down, it had 92 views. It's like Corey Adam attacking somebody for views. It's like, hello? I know Mr. 4 Patreons isn't coming after me. If I had 4 people in the overdose, I'd slit my wrists. So let's get it. He does this thing, too, where he's like, he's trying to be contrite. He's trying to, apologize to me and his audience for overreacting, but he still has to get his digs in because he's so insecure. He's like, yeah, I'm garbage. I'm a piece of shit. I'm happy with that. I'm fine with my stature. I'm going to barbecue some pulled pork tomorrow. I don't care if 4 people watch or 400. Who gives a shit? You think the pork's going to taste worse?
Where we're a new channel and we're growing, and some that we did like a week or 2 ago already have double that, and we're learning.
He's saying this guy never gets more than 5,000 on anything. We're a new channel, and sometimes our shows from 2 weeks ago get double that. It's like, I gotta go look now, because now I'm confused. So now I got to go look just to see what he's talking about. 1.3 thousand a month ago, 1.5 thousand a month ago, 880 2 months ago, 4K 2 months ago, 2.8K 2 months ago, 5 2 months ago, 1 2 months ago. Okay, here's what he said. 10K 15 years ago. Some stand-up, and I kind of want to see his stand-up. Here, let's go to live. 6.4K views, the Stuttering John show. 500 views, the Howard Stern show. 1.8, 1.8, 1.2, 1.2, 457. Casey talks about trolls. 500 views 3 weeks ago. We might have to watch that. Here's an episode with Shuley. 1.4 thousand. I want to watch that. So he said, I only get 5,000 on everything, which isn't really even true. And then he says 1.1. He says he has shows with 10,000 views, but he doesn't. He just doesn't. That's a lie. Like it just is. This is his show from last night. More viewers than he's ever had and only has 984. This show right here that you're watching has been on the air for 2 hours. It's already over 984. Like, what are you?
As we go. And, it's the people that are upset with their own career and what they haven't done. It's easy to pick on other people. So I want to say to you guys that I'm sorry for reacting. I should have.
Remember, everything about this guy's career he attaches to Howard Stern. It's like when Steel Toe wants to stand on Red Bar's shoulders, like somebody starts fucking with Steel Toe and he's like, yeah, well, remember when Red Bar did that to you? Come on, Red Bar, get him. It's like Red Bar ain't with you. And Howard ain't with you, Casey. You don't get to pretend you had a career because you used to hang out with a guy who had a career. I've issued this challenge several times. Get Howard on the phone. Call your buddy Howard on the phone. I'd love to see you and Howard just yuck it up. You ain't got his number. He ain't answering your call. You don't know Howard. You didn't have a career.
Never, ever even acknowledged that someone was saying, things that were not true or whatever. I mean, it's like, in my world, it just doesn't matter. It's like,
I mean, honey, you had a full-on meltdown 2 days in a row. And the one you're about to have tonight is really insane. The one you're about to have tonight on this program is nuts. Where you almost come to the realization live on the show that you're gay? I hope I'm not blowing the load too early. That's what's about to happen. Somehow this guy deals with the haters calling him gay by regurgitating this repressed memory he has of hooking up with a dude in Alaska and coming to the conclusion that he may very well be gay. All driven, all steered by the masterful steady hand on the rudder of Vince the lawyer, guiding this man to his gay conclusion. Onions, please stop calling dudes honey. Nope. Imagine even typing that to another man. Hey, could you stop using this word? No. No. When I talk about sweet men, I call them honey because they're sweet.
Some 10-year-olds going up to Michael Jordan. No, that's not a good example because that.
Wow. So he got in his own head there for a second. You heard him say, I'm in his mind, I'm a 10-year-old and he's Jordan. Again, these guys imprint themselves onto their boss. In his mind, he's equal with Stern because he was on Stern. Really? He really thinks that. He's like, I played in the big leagues. I was a pro. It's like, you weren't. You used to get the pros coffee. You know what I mean? You used to grab the pro a spare. You used to get the guys who came on the Stern show. You would go get them a drink, lead them into the studio, get them a water, get them a microphone. That was your job. You weren't Stern. You were the lolcow that Stern milked. You weren't the farmer who rounded up the lolcows. You were one of the lolcows. So you don't get to again, you don't get to stand on the shoulder of a giant and call yourself tall. You don't get to do that. You have no talent, nothing to offer. It was only your association with Stern. It's not even like Opie and Anthony, where it's like Opie brought something to the table, Anthony brought something to the table. If they didn't meet, neither one of them would have been shit. That's just facts. It's not even like that. It's like if KC Armstrong hadn't have met Stern and gotten on the Stern show, KC Armstrong would be a fired car salesman by now. He'd be a fucking junk bond guy. He's a garbage piece of shit. But in his mind, he's like, I'm Jordan. And it's like, no, you were the towel boy for the Bulls farm team. You weren't even Jordan adjacent. Okay. So you setting up mics and getting people drinks as they come on as guests on the Stern show, you're not even serving Stern, you're serving guests. It's like if he fucked your wife in front of you and then had you go get her a towel. You know. It's literally cucking you. You're a cuck. You're a half cuck. KC half cuck. It's why you're called that.
That would be like I'd be Michael Jordan. But in this case, compared to me and this guy, yeah, I would be Michael Jordan.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Talking about like someone who's dribbled a basketball or maybe made a free throw compared to someone who's like, yeah, maybe one day I'm going to make a free throw. Maybe I'll play basketball. So that's all I'm going to say. And I apologize.
And these guys too, like Kevin Brennan, he's like, you've never even been on TV doing stand-up. It's like, that's not a thing anymore, Kevin. No one's on TV doing stand-up anymore. No one. Oh, the clean guy they get on Kimmel every other week or something. Fallon, you know. I mean, who even name a comic that's on Fallon? You know, like, no, everyone's on YouTube. Everyone's on streaming services. So you screaming about Star Search and Comedy Central, it's irrelevant now. That's what Casey sounds like. This guy's never going to do anything. It's like, on terrestrial radio, that's your barometer of success? It's like, we're not doing that anymore. That's not a thing that exists.
As to you, the audience, for me, reacting. That's not what I do. I'm a nice guy. That's not my deal. I don't like bullies. Actually, I hate bullies.
Whoa!
I hate when people try and put other people down to make themselves feel better.
I don't like the look of it.
To compensate for some lack of something or whatever. And, you know, I'm the guy that's like, all right, does this guy need to be made an example?
People always say this kind of stuff. People say this phrase, you know, I'm a guy, you know, I'm the kind of guy who, you know, I'm a guy who pretty much when you, it's like, stop telling me what kind of a guy you are. Because you're lying. People who have both feet on the ground, who are steady, who have confidence, who are secure in their place on the planet and in life, they're constantly telling you about what kind of guy they are. That's all you do. You have to tell people what kind of guy you are because you can't show them. You can't show anybody confidence.
Men are so incompetent and bitchy. That's why I'm starting my own network. The Magic Bean Center for Women's Excellence. Come on over for gross recipes, forest camo fashion, and laughing at little whiners. Later, Aaron. Yeah, biatch.
But he did that the first show too. Remember, like, I'm not the kind of guy you want to fuck with. I'm not the guy. It's like, you are the guy. It says here, KCR. Are you KCR? Yeah, you're the guy. You are the guy we're looking for. I'm a kind of guy. I'm a nice guy. I'm a stable guy. Okay.
Example of, and then it was, I'm just going to not pay attention to any of it. And for you guys,
again, by starting his show out with it, this sounds like Aaron, you know, you start every show every day. Does he watch NLO? Are you the bully? If he just never watched NLO, he wouldn't hear a thing. Right. That's the point. That's the whole point with all these guys. We're looking for people who react and can't help it. They can't help but react. And, you know, I expect everybody to react to anything happening, but can't let it go. Steel toe every day. Starts the show with cope and dealing with the haters and banning a few people and blocking people and saying people in the chat are mean or apologize to April or demanding things. It's like, no. You are dealing with this. You have to deal with it. So this is the second time in a row he's opening his show with it by saying he shouldn't have to answer to or react, but that's what he's doing. W-Man $10 says, I agree with what you said earlier. Why does everyone want to rush to violence? We're human beings. Yes, we're animals, but we're supposed to be able to think and talk things out. Yeah, we're supposed to exist on a higher plane of existence. We're supposed to have some bit of enlightenment to control our animal instincts. You're not supposed to lash out your insane feelings all the time. Just keep it together. Keep it together. So he addresses it by saying he's not going to address it. Power move. This dude is unstable, Melton. We're counting on it. He was going to make an example of you. Ooh, you really dodged a bullet, P-Melt. Yeah, I hope so, you know.
Guys, to get caught up in it, because you don't come here for me to speak nonsense about stuff like that. So I want to apologize to you. I'm ashamed and I'm embarrassed on how I acted. So
I mean, you should be. It was cringe as fuck. What's crazy is how you make it worse tonight.
Please forgive me and let's go. All right? Can we put it behind us? Thank you.
I mean, I wish, but you bring a guy on who literally cucks you in front of your whole crowd.
Guys, my next guest is an amazing talent. Not only is he an amazing lawyer, but the guy is funny. He's creative. And you've got to see some of the stuff that he's done on the internet. Guy's just...
He can't even introduce his own guests. He's he's got this acid reflux, so every other word he has to... Maybe you shouldn't talk for a living. Seems like you're having trouble digesting. Seems like even your stomach is full of your shit and it's trying to eat you from the inside out. It's like, you ever be at like an airport or, I don't know, some of you, a bus station, a restaurant, a hotel, anywhere where they have to make a big announcement or something ever. And you're certain that they've just handed the mic. It's almost like they gathered all the employees in the back. Like, which one of you knows the least English and has a fucked up accent? You? Great. We're going to need you to do all the PA announcements. And then that person comes on the thing and they're like, and you're like, what? That'd be like this, you know, if they looked around a broadcast studio and they're like, who here can't get two sentences out without digesting last night's brownie batter casserole constantly in their mouth? Who can't stop burping up the lasagna they had a minute ago? KC, great. Get this guy a mic. Are you smart? Do you have complex thoughts? No? Well, at least you can't get them out. Get in there. Have a show. It's like, fuck. It's a good thing you're not saying anything or we wouldn't be able to follow it. Thank God this is just garbled mumbles and digestion noises.
He's got great ideas. Nice guy.
You can't tell any. Vince is coming on. You should see some of the stuff this guy's done around the internet. It's like, what a great introduction. What a great way to describe a man.
He's got a good bench, too. Guys, it's Vince the lawyer.
Wah, the onion is making fun of me. Wah.
Yeah. So right out of the gate, wah, the onions are making fun of me. Wah. Uh-oh.
Have you ever had a dream that you you could do so. You want him to do you so much. You could do anything. This is my Guitar Hero microphone.
There you go. I believe it. Right out of the gate, this Vince guy's trolling him. Wah, the onions are making fun of me. Wah. That's him imitating KC. He's making fun of KC right out of the gate. How do you think this is going to go?
Yeah. I fell into the trap. It happens. Look, I'm not perfect. Nobody is. So I just wanted to say that out the front. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing okay. So before we spoke about the show that you went on complaining about the fat onion, you told me that you never let anyone get the best of you. You never get upset when someone says something wrong. And then I tune in, literally 10 minutes later, I tune into your show and you're talking about someone. And the way you were talking, I was getting scared. I thought you were talking about me because I had spoken about you and what you were doing backstage at the Shuley show. So I was physically getting scared. And then luckily I rewound and I said that I found that you were talking about some fat onion guy. I was like, thank God it wasn't me.
No, Vince, if I had a problem with it, I would have called you and we would have talked it out like gentlemen. So I'm sorry. I'm sorry that that whole thing happened, but it's behind us because we got a lot of cool things going ahead of us, man. So,
So 5 minutes into this show, they posit this theory that they have a lot to talk about. And the onion thing is now behind us. Oh boy.
lots of stuff to talk about here. And yeah, I did say that, and I made a mistake. I mean, when's the last time you made a mistake?
Probably about 10 minutes ago when I was yelling at my wife. But
Oh no.
don't say you made a mistake. I went through what the fat onion said, and I'm going to say that 95% of what he was saying was actually accurate.
Well, I don't even care. Vince.
95% of what the fat onion was saying was accurate?
Hello, exactly.
I don't care because I just not interested.
Well, you should.
So this guy's fucking just coming out of the gate owning him, and he's sitting there, KC, just cocked on his own show. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. And Vince won't let him off.
Care because he was giving critiques about your show.
Don't care.
Which
I don't care. I don't care. La 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 la.
And until you've become like, until you've done something. Look, you guys, I don't want to talk about him.
Yeah,
but I hope he does well.
I don't care. I don't care.
You say you don't want to talk about him, but he spent a whole 5 minutes of your show where I was shitting in my pants. I'm like, shit, I hope he's not talking about me.
No, Vince, I wouldn't say that about you. No.
That's okay. He did. But then he did about an hour and a half critique on your show, which you should watch.
Good for him.
No, you should watch it because
I don't want to, Vince.
He has watched it. Why would he be so mad if he hasn't watched it? He's watched it. He's watching. You watching the onions. You're watching the onions.
And I don't even want to. It's not on my radar. It's like, what do they say?
It's not on my radar. I just open every show screaming about it. It's not even on my radar, dog.
Punching down.
It doesn't matter. I listened to it. So I took the time while I was on the treadmill to listen to what he said. It was about an hour and a half, and he critiques what you're doing. And I will say again, 95% of what he's saying is that. Are you going to let me finish, or are you just going to talk over me?
I mean, this Vince guy is a champ. Holy shit, Vince. I don't know you. You were on Shuley trolling the other day. This is trolling. This guy's great. This guy's great. And apparently him and KC are going to be doing a show together, like a whole new podcast together. I can't fucking wait. Holy shit. When you have a guy like Vince with this deft hand at trolling, he comes in with this soft angle, and an idiot like KC who thinks he's like in your corner trying to help, but he ain't. He ain't.
I'm going to talk over you because I told you I don't want to talk about it.
Well, I want to talk about it. 95% is accurate. If you want to better your
Vince,
channel,
listen.
better your show.
Okay,
Then listen
good.
to the,
That's how
listen to
you
the
feel.
Fat Onion.
That's how you feel.
Listen to the Fat Onion. That's me.
Good. That's fine. We can agree to disagree. Okay. But I'm not going to take part in it. So thank you for, at least I think you had the best intention, but I don't want to talk about it. So, that's we're at a standstill. So let's move on.
Okay.
We're at a gym standstill.
All right, cool, man. So Vince is a Long Islander like myself, and I bet you didn't know one of the
Guys, I just want to do a boring podcast that nobody wants to watch. Can we go back to 8 viewers and everybody just ignoring me?
the bits I wanted to do was things you didn't know about Vince. Did you guys know Vince was a gym rat? How long you been a gym rat, Mr. Vince?
We don't know Vince. Why would we know about his gym habits?
Only for the past 4 years.
So I'm going to skip
and
forward.
what made you get into fitness?
When he's
Because,
boring,
yeah,
I'm going to
if
skip.
You haven't seen he's thick. He is an athlete. So what?
But I used to own a very little Jewish kid, got his rank. Thing that like he was right. So I'm like, I need to get back to the gym. So in college, I couldn't do strong on the just because you can bench 20 times.
There's never mind. Go ahead.
No, that's smart because I didn't even know what it was. So I had to go Google what a predicate was, and I forgot. Like, disagree. One with KC is going to be just focused around when KC finally hooks up with a guy.
What? Okay,
KC,
watch
what
this.
he was saying.
So they're talking about this new podcast they're going to start, and they're going to talk about how episode 1 is going to be about how KC hooked up with a guy. And you're like, what?
I also disagree with the approach he's taking because
Dalish, this is a very, very nuanced opinion, but I like it. This is like another version of Ray and Carlos Danger. Holy shit. Holy shit. Once you see that, you can't unsee it. It really is like that. Only like this guy has self-esteem and Ray doesn't. But yeah, it's just a more logical guy who's with it, wearing a hat, trying to help an out of it guy in a crappy studio who thinks he's good at radio and knows what he's doing, even though it's all over the place and scattershot as fuck.
This to Shuli and Carl. I said, look, who's the guy that's making fun of KC? Because I want to chop it up and make it seem like he's
Hold on. They were emailing Shuli about me?
being really mean to KC. But then I listened to it and he was just being mean to KC. I could just play it. And I don't know if you told anyone, but we're about to launch our new series.
I got it. When did he say that about emailing Shuli about me?
Look, who's the guy that's making fun? Because with what he was saying, I also disagree with the approach he's taking. Because I text this to Shuli and Carl. I said, look, who's the guy that's making fun of?
So Vince, this guy, Vince, the lawyer, whoever it is texting Shuli and Carl about me. He's texting Shuli, who is this guy making fun of KC? He's texting Carl from Who Are These Podcasts? Who are these guys making fun of KC? It's like everyone on the internet who's seen him? I don't know. Do you think if I played this to a group of people and didn't say a word, they would all go, what a great show? No, they'd laugh at him like the fucking lolcow that he is. Patrick, you big meanie. Dirty Dalish, I like the birthday blue in your hair today. I don't know what that's about, but just a quick reminder, we're taking birthday cards for Dirty Dalish for our art assignment today. Email them in, patrick@nobodylikesonions.com. Get in your Dirty Dalish birthday cards. There's still plenty and plenty and plenty of time to get those into me, okay? You're going to like the way you look. So I can't believe that, they're texting Shuli about me like, hey, you friends with this guy? They're probably like, Melton, shut this down. Shut this down now. And Shuli's watching going, Let me tell you what Shuli's probably doing. If I was Shuli, I'm watching going, better him than me. Better KC than me. Leave me and Bob out of this. We're top tier whack packers over here at the Shuli Network. We got stuff going on over here. KC's got nothing going on. Keep making fun of KC, Melton. That's what Shuli's probably thinking.
Of KC, because I want to chop it up and make it seem like he's being really mean to KC. But then I listened to it and he was just being mean to KC. I could just play it. And I don't know if you told anyone, but we're about to launch our new series. Episode 1 with KC is going to be just focus.
Look at his face. It's almost like Vince told him, we're going to do a podcast. You have to participate. I don't care if you like it or not. And it's going to be about how gay you are. Watch KC.
Focused around when KC finally hooks up with a guy. Okay. So that's
focused around when KC finally hooks up with a guy. Finally? As if they've all been anticipating it. They all think he's gay.
something that, KC had it.
That's not the entire. That's not the entire series. That happens to be episode 1.
Sure, absolutely. I just said episode 1.
So now, so Casey's like, okay, stop trying to make me look gay. Episode 1's about the time I was gay. Okay, easy.
Focus around, and there's going to be one. I think, and 1 and 2 are going to go into when you finally hook up with a guy, and it's ironic because you've always been accused of being gay. I know you're not gay, but this guy happened to trick you into hooking up with you.
He's talking about when I went to Alaska and I made out with a tranny.
So again, as if that makes this sound better. Vince is like, we're gonna talk about the time you hooked up with a guy, and then Casey has to interrupt him like, okay, he's talking about the time I went to Alaska and hooked up with a tranny. It's like, okay, is that better? By the way, he's wearing a shirt that says gay on it. He's wearing a shirt that literally says G-A-Y gay on it, I believe.
Well, he made out with a guy, and the one thing about Alaska, how come
he's right? I can't argue with him.
I mean, this is wild. Casey doesn't want to be seen as gay and can't stop telling people about how gay he is.
What he's saying is true.
I listened to it very closely. He hung out with this guy. He was an Asian guy a few times. Casey went to Alaska for chasing a girl,
Casey's grinning ear to ear and giggling about this memory.
ironically.
Yeah.
How come you had to spend 10 days in jail there?
Because Vince, nobody told me that. I don't know anyone's landline by heart, and I don't know anyone who can take a collect call. So I couldn't reach anybody. Nobody knew where I was. And every time I tried to use the phone, I couldn't because I didn't know anyone's number. So I'm just sitting here and
So
nobody ever told me.
We went from he hooked up with a tranny to 10 days in jail and he couldn't get out because he didn't have anybody's number. It's like, did you get arrested for fucking a dude? What's going on?
Vince, that, hey, you can have, I'm like, well, when I get out of here, I'm going to get a lawyer. And no one told me that, hey, there's a thing called a public defender. They can come in and they can do all this stuff and get you in touch with somebody. Nobody told me that, Vince. So I sat there wasting away.
No one told him that he could get a public defender? No one told you could get a public defender? It's in the Miranda rights. We all know it from watching Ice Cube from watching Ice-T on Law and Order. I didn't know I could get a public defender? I've never heard a bigger lie. Everybody knows it. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed to you. People who don't live in this country know that. Nobody told me that I could get a lawyer appointed to me. Nobody even told me that I could do that.
Surprise, motherfucker.
Withdrawing from all types of medications that I needed, and it was the worst
All types.
10 days of my life, bud.
So let's go back to a girl breaks up with you, but why does she go to
Miranda rights aren't even read to people anymore? You sound dumb as fuck. I mean, that sounds like the most retarded thing a person could ever say. They don't even read Miranda rights to people anymore. It's like, okay.
Break up with me, no.
Okay, well, then tell us why you went to Alaska.
This was the woman that I thought, that one, well, you're married, so you got that one. But if someone who's not married, there's that one. Like I wanted to.
So he talks about this guy he hooked up with in Alaska as being the one. The one.
To marry this woman. We were actually like engaged, and it was happening like
we were actually engaged.
Slow. It didn't happen fast. Slowly.
It happened slow. It didn't happen fast. I mean, this guy's a fucking idiot.
It began to dissipate.
When you have to close your eyes to think of stuff,
and get to a different area. And she was in Alaska working for the summer. And normally when we've ever had problems, if I got there and this is the ego in a young man. Oh, well, if she sees me and we discuss, she's of course going to want to get back and everything's going to be fine. She's just got to see me. That's this horrible ego thing that young men have.
So a woman in Alaska didn't want to see him, so he thought, I'll just go up there and see her. So that's called a stalker. But
there's a reason that, things are changing. So I figure if I get there and I speak face to face, and
if I just go to Alaska, find out where she works, track down her friends and fellow employees, and tell them why we're meant to be together, then I don't see how she could say no.
We talk it out. Things can go back to normal, but that's not what happened.
Okay, so you get there, and what happens?
What happened was after each night where she was supposed to come to my hotel, something always came up. And that right there, after the first day, now being an old man, knowing what I know, if you go to Alaska and the other person doesn't want to see you on the first day, if you don't get out, then you have no pride and you are really, you're really delusional.
You can call me Nannerpuss. And guess what? I love Nannerpuss. You can call me Nannerpuss. And guess what? I love Nannerpuss.
I don't even know what to say. So he met a woman online. This is like 90 Day Fiance, Alaska edition. Meets catfish. He met a woman online. They never met in person before in his life, but she's the one. She's the one. And they're dating. They were going to get married. They never met. This guy's a loser. I was on Stern. I was a real radio guy. But you can't meet a girl in the tri-state New York area who's interested in you? You have to go literally to the farthest corner of the earth to meet a woman who could put up with KC Armstrong? Okay. And then you travel 7 hours to fucking Anchorage to meet this woman you've never met before yet are sure you're going to marry and she's the one, you delusional fucking sad sack. You sound like a fucking incel. I mean, this is nuts. And then she won't come meet you? You've been catfished. She won't come out to the hotel?
But I stuck around because I cared about this woman so much.
All right, so you go to Alaska, you're calling her, and she's not reciprocating. She's not coming over to see you. So
she's saying, I'll be over tomorrow, blah, blah, blah. So after a while,
4
days, whatever, I go up and
4 days. 4 days. He flew to Alaska and sat in a hotel jerking his little peen alone for 4 days, saying, maybe tomorrow, maybe tomorrow, maybe tomorrow, maybe tomorrow. That happened 4 days. For 4 fucking days. You wonder how, people are dumb as fuck.
See her, and I walk to the place where she's staying, and I see her through the window, and she won't open the door.
I walk to where she's staying and I see her through the window. This is all stalkery. You flew to Alaska. You're seeing her through the window.
Again, thinking back.
She won't open the door. Sounds like love.
This is another sign case. You don't have to be a genius to figure it out.
I mean, but you have to be smarter than you. 4 days he sat in a hotel, maybe tomorrow.
So what do? And I react, which I have a problem.
Go ahead. What happens?
So I bust the door down.
So I bust the door down?
How dare you?
And yeah, that girls don't really like that. That's not something that they like. So
was she working on a crab ship or something else for the summer?
She was selling jewelry.
Was she working on a crab ship? She was selling jewelry. Holy fuck.
For that's what they do. They get like good looking girls from California, and they get them out for. And she was great at it. I mean,
hold on. Somebody's saying I have it wrong. Hold on. What? Let's get the context here. Somebody said I had it wrong. And I can't find the chat now. Ah, shit. Well, if I got it wrong, I want to get it right, Better watch out he doesn't fall for you, Patrick. He's hiding in your bushes yelling poems. It was a hard knock and a weak door, Your Honor. You have the story wrong. This was his girlfriend in California that worked seasonally in Alaska. Okay, so this was the one. I guess he knew her from Alaska, but they had problems. He thought he was going to marry her. They had problems. She goes up to work in Alaska. He can't stop missing her, so he chases her up to. He goes up to Alaska to try to find her. She blows him off for 4 days. He goes to where she's staying. She won't open the door. He busts the door down. Got it. Do we have it right now? So this is a woman he had already been pursuing. Got it. Okay.
She was great at everything. She could do anything.
The woman he's talking about now is not the trans woman. Okay, this is a woman. He was just stalking another woman up to Alaska. Got it.
Selling. So when tourists get off the cruise ships,
I do get a lot of stuff wrong, but people tell me a lot of wrong stuff. So if that's what it is, thank you. He hasn't met the tranny yet.
See this hot girl who's very bright and who's great at selling stuff. Of course, she's a star. So that's what she was doing up there. I guess she was making money and making a life for herself and distancing from me, which happens, So I was too dumb to.
She was up there making a life for herself and distancing from me, which happens. He's making it sound like women do this to him all the time. You know how relationships work. When things don't work out, the girl changes her name and leaves and goes to another state. Happens all the time.
Let change happen, and that's why I went up there, and I reacted. Well, she's not going to talk to me. Okay, well, here goes the door, and then the door, wasn't.
He's laughing about breaking down this bitch's door. This is nuts. He's going. He.
Door went flat.
So I broke down the door. Yeah, I kicked the door in and scared the living shit out of a stupid bitch.
well, she's not going to talk to me. Okay, well, here goes the door. And then the door, the door wasn't.
I mean, this is a retard. Like, I'm not even kidding. This guy is retarded. This is the face a retard makes when they, like, get a gummy worm for the first time. They're like, it's a bug, but it's candy.
The door went flat in a matter of seconds.
The door was flat in a matter of seconds. I used to be a real emotional, reactive guy. I'm sure glad I don't do that anymore. I'd like to start the show out today saying I overreacted emotionally. It's like that's why he's going to be great, guys. I'm telling you, that's what I picked up on. He can't not react emotionally. If you're a woman he's in love with, he's knocking the door down. If you're a guy who makes fun of him, he's knocking the door down. Don't get me wrong. I do think this guy will come. It'll probably just be on his own shirt. Did I make a oopsie?
Did you kick it, punch it, or something?
No, I just put a shoulder in it.
Oh.
Ow!
Nice.
Maybe that's why my shoulder. Nice. So
he's laughing about breaking a woman's door down. Imagine how terrified this poor girl was.
Yeah. So the police. It's a small town, right? You couldn't leave without everyone knowing who you were. So the police got me. They put me in jail, and there I stayed for 10 days. Vince, where were you? Why couldn't I known you 10 years ago?
Yeah, I'm not admitted in Alaska.
So, first of all, I know it's CKY is Can't Kill Yourself, but like, is that a CKY shirt? Because to me it looks like gay. But yeah, it might be a CKY shirt, which is half a cucky. If it's CK, it's KC. Okay.
So why are you in jail for 10 days though?
Because they didn't know what to do with me. They're like, this guy doesn't know how to get a hold of anybody, and they kept me in the same spot. It was horrible. They didn't put me in Gen Pop. They put me in a room full of 4 people.
Gen Pop. It's jail, not prison. I mean, Jesus Christ.
And I got to shower, I think, once.
This is like when Chad said he was swatted. It's like, calm down.
And it was just, the worst part was coming off all those, off of all the drugs. That
they didn't put me in Gen Pop. They put me in with 4 guys. And after I blew all of them, there were 9 days left.
That I was prescribed. It was so fucking scary, Vince.
What were you on at the time?
The antidepressant, Lexapro, Ritalin, Adderall. And they say that there's no withdrawal from Adderall or Ritalin. That's the biggest
protein shakes.
Bunch of bullshit. Oh, they say there's no withdrawal from cocaine because it's a smaller scale, poor man's cocaine. There is such a withdrawal. It's crazy. So the
I kicked the door down because I was coming down off an Adderall high.
Anxiety, take that away, and you can die from that. It's a benzodiazepine. They take that away. The other one was for the seizures from a head injury.
Holy shit. Please come try to fight me, you broken fuck. You're like a Mr. Potato Head of disabilities. I mean, what the fuck? Why would you put this guy in front of a camera and microphone?
I forgot.
Doesn't matter. We get it.
Whatever it was, but they just stopped everything cold turkey. And when you're on stuff for 10 or 15 years, 20 years.
Wow, he was even on cold turkey, guys.
Stop something all of a sudden is torture. So, yeah, it was not fun, Vince.
Were you sleeping in bunk beds?
I went so crazy, I just started reaching for dicks.
Yeah. It was like in jail. I mean, you got, but this was four people, two bunks. And the only time you know what time it is when they bring in your meal,
What were your bunk mates like?
Um, a lot of them were in, I guess, meth is very popular up there. And
Hello.
I was in there for so long that I would see people come in and out. And then if they're sentenced, they got in trouble a lot, they'd go downstairs into Gen Pop. But I guess they kept me there because it's like, what are we doing with Armstrong? Well,
He thinks if you get in trouble, you go to Gen Pop. He thinks that's how prison or jail works. Yeah, everybody starts out in solitary confinement. And if they can't behave in there, we put them in Gen Pop. It's like, what? Like, you couldn't be more backwards with how jail works. Like, you don't go to Gen Pop for misbehaving. You get pulled out of general population for misbehaving. He's like, yeah, they kept me in my own cell. And then I kept telling them to eat my shit. So they put me in Gen Pop for misbehaving. This is what an unscripted 89 IQ sounds like. He's in a holding tank.
oh, nobody knew. Nobody knew to tell me, hey, we can get you a lawyer and that maybe they can get a hold of someone in California that you might know. But instead, they just let me rot there. So, yeah, that kind of sucked.
What were you charged with?
Yeah, it was bad. The sheet that I had, it always looks worse than it is. But
What were you charged with?
a bunch of things. The first was criminal mischief, I believe. Second was like when I saw her phone right there, so I stole her phone. I was so immature. So I stole the.
Holy shit. This guy is a psycho. This guy's a psycho.
The phone, just because I guess I wanted to know if she was cheating on me or whatever.
Wow.
That
Cheating on you. She moved to Alaska to get away from you. You lived in California. You were dating in California. She left. She moved to Alaska. You flew to Alaska, busted down a woman's door, and took her phone to see if she was cheating on you? Oh.
Nannerpuss.
Come on.
and once you take that, that means you're stopping someone from reporting a crime.
Yeah, kidnapping, holding someone against their will.
There's that, and then there was two more things, kind of like that. I guess breaking and
False imprisonment, breaking and entering. What are we talking about here?
maybe breaking and entering. Maybe I don't know. It was 2010, so it's been a long.
Well, you
time.
did break a door and enter it.
I've forgotten it. I've kept my nose clean since.
That is how rap sheets work. You ever been arrested before? I've forgotten it, officer. You're free to go.
Yeah, well, I'm just trying to get
Your
back.
record's clean, son. As long as you forget, nobody else remembers either. Carry on, boy.
What was the masturbation situation like?
Whoa. So Vince out of nowhere goes, what was the masturbation situation like? Speaking of, get your birthday cards in for Dirty Dalish.
In 10 days.
The masturbation?
Yeah, like, do you have to do it in quiet? Can you?
So Vince, I mean, I don't know if this is a troll or if Vince himself is a creep. This makes Vince almost seem like a creep. Even KC with his tiny little brain is mesmerized by this ask. He's like, so when you were in jail, how did you masturbate? It's like, first of all, I'm glad you asked it, but it's also very weird. Let's see what he says.
Do it at all?
Oh, Vince, believe me, bud, you're not thinking of that. For the as a man, you probably don't believe it, but when you're up against so much, you don't know what the hell is going to happen to you, and you're withdrawn from all these drugs. That is not something that you're even thinking of. And you know what the weirdest thing is? The whole time I'm in there, I'm like, I'm totally missing her. Like, what, how can I
you're
have made
mentally
this
ill.
right?
You're a psychopath.
Gotcha. All right. So then how do you actually get out then after 10 days?
I took a chance on the goodness of people.
If you change
and
your mind.
sometimes it works. There was this nice kid who was in there for a drunk driving. He was in just for the weekend because the courts are closed on the weekends. So I give him my mother's phone number and a note to read her onto the phone to tell her where I am.
Dear Casey's mom, hello. Greetings from Alaska. This is your baby boy, KC Armstrong, from the Howard Stern program. Currently, I am writing to you from a jail cell in Alaska. What are you doing in Alaska, Casey? You may be asking yourself, and that's a good question, Mama. You remember Lauren? Yeah, well, we're doing great. And I guess the relationship was going so well, she thought we were so secure in our love that she could just pack up everything she owns and move up to Alaska. And I was like, that's a great idea, Lauren. That's a great idea because of the love. And then she seems too busy to talk to me. So I thought I'd book a flight on the next airline on the air program up there. And and then I was going to meet her, take her to dinner. She didn't want to see me. She didn't want to talk. I guess because of the love. So I go over to her apartment. I just break her door down, say, what's the deal? Give me a phone. What's his name? I ought to kill you. Love. And now I'm in a jail cell. Please send $15,000 for bail and some of those gummy worms that I love.
And how to get a hold of the jail and how to talk to me because I couldn't call out and, ask her for anybody. I called my boss. I was working for Max Muscle at the time. But that's not.
I was working for Max Muscle at the time. Sounds like a moving company. Are you moving either locally or across state lines? Call Max Muscle today. 4 of these juice heads will show up at your place, steal any contraband in your medicine cabinet, and help load your big screen TV onto a truck. If any luck, you'll see them again soon. If not, you got insurance, right? Max Muscle.
Somebody that's going to be there past 5 o'clock. So I figured I'd call my mom. So,
Mom, I need you to get a hold of Max Muscle.
She would know where I was. So I sent him, and he got a hold of her and sent bail to this kid that we don't know that could have just taken it and put it away. But the kindness of strangers sometimes will surprise you.
His mom just sent his bail to a random person they don't know? What?
Took the money, brought it back up, and got me out of jail. So if I have to learn anything from that whole experience, it's don't be an ass.
If I have to learn anything,
Breaking news. Kevin Brennan got my channel struck and gave out Bob Levy's phone number, 856-906-2224.
We're not doing that over here. We ain't doing that over here. I'm so sorry, Bob. I'm sure that was on the screen, too. That's what's crazy. I'm sure that was on the screen, too. That's what's fucking nuts. Oh, no. Now Levy's going to be at my house. We got to see who did that, because that might be a banning. Brian, don't do that again. It's not funny. We'll ban you from the system. I can't have you giving out people's numbers over the thing. And I appreciate the tip, but you gotta don't do that again, Bri. It's not very nice. What? That was rough. I think I broke everything because I just tried to slam it all down so fast. Whoa! No, the Brian who did it knows who they are.
Asshole. Don't be a jerk. Don't go to Alaska. But there are people out there that are still good people.
Did Kevin Brennan, that was a thing Chad tweeted that Kevin Brennan struck his channel. Is that true?
And he could have just taken that money.
Who cares about phone numbers? I mean, these guys do. Kevin Brennan turns into a fucking whirling dervish if you say 3 digits. I don't care about numbers, but you know.
And said, took a big shot, but nobody told me, hey, we can get a lawyer in here, and that's what they do.
So you get out of jail, and then you eventually make your way to Walmart.
Nobody told me you could get a lawyer in here, and that's what they do, get you out of jail. No one told me. No one even told me.
Alaska, right?
Yes.
Okay, and you see a cute Asian guy.
I can't believe the guy who had a little banner saying "Strike MLC" got struck. Chad was baiting KB into doing that at the end of the stream yesterday. Woo.
Shopping as well, right?
Yes.
Look at
He's an
KC.
Asian guy, nice, muscular. He's got a great ass.
Whoa.
Muscular.
Alaska, right? Jail, and then
We can get a lawyer in here, and that's what they do.
Nobody
So you
told me
get
that's
out
what lawyers do. I thought they just interview you on your podcast and make you look gay as fuck. But they can get you out of jail?
Jail, and then you eventually make your way to Walmart in Alaska, right?
Yes.
Okay, and you see
Look, he has fond memories of meeting this transvestite. You make your way to a Walmart, right? He goes, oh, yeah. He can't hide emotions. He's, simple people wear every thought on their face.
a cute Asian guy who's shopping.
Look at that. He is remembering this happily.
As well.
That face. Like, honestly, you have to be retarded to make this face. A normal can't make this face. A person with all the correct chromosomes can't make this face. A person without a learning disability cannot make this face. Yeah, I went to Walmart and I met her. I swear to God, he's real life Chip Chipperson. Yeah, I went to Walmart. I met her. She got great ass and stuff.
Right?
He's almost coming in his pants.
Yes.
And
Cute Asian guy, nice.
Cute Asian guy, nice ass, he says.
Yes.
and
Cute Asian guy, nice, muscular.
Muscular. I love a muscular guy.
and
Cute Asian guy, nice, muscular. He's got a great ass.
People describe my body as muscular. Oh, Melton? The guy with the muscular tits?
what is your pickup line to the Asian guy?
I wasn't trying to pick anybody.
I didn't know I had a shot.
CTE symptoms include cognitive impairment, memory loss, problems carrying out tasks, impulsive behavior, aggression, emotional instability, and substance misuse.
Nailed it, Attenborough.
I had to be there, Vince, because you can't just skip town. You have to. It might have been a week. I don't know. You have to wait till your court date, and that wasn't until like 4 or 5 days away. So I said to this
I've been stuck in jail for so long. I just wanted to grab any guy and blow a load.
person, I thought was a girl, and I said,
I walked up to a person I thought was a girl.
I'm from out of town. Excuse me. I'm from out of town, and I don't know him.
Holy shit, he's crying up. He's welling up in tears with this memory. I'm not even like, this isn't a bit. It's really happening. Watch.
I'm from out of town. Excuse me. I'm from out of town, and
that wasn't an acid reflux burp. Look, he's getting a little choked up. This is real emotion from a real man who misses his penis inside of a real man.
I don't know my way around. I just, this is a weird situation. I'll tell you what I just went through.
You walked up to a stranger in Walmart, even if you thought it was a woman. Imagine walking up to a woman in Walmart and being like, hey, sorry, I don't live here. I'm not in town. I just went through a crazy situation. Let me tell you about it. I was in jail for 10 days. Sorry for the BO. I'm looking for the deodorant aisle, and I'd wonder if you'd like the scissor.
Would you like to go grab a drink or something like that?
Yeah, and from that, obviously, episode 1 will take over, where we discover what occurs through the next few days with this guy.
Days.
And KC. And I will say this, that it takes a lot of balls and courage to admit that you finally hooked up with.
Look at his face. He's giddy about it. He's bouncing. He's doing the Corey bounce.
The guy after.
Look at him vibrating. He's vibrating thinking about fucking this dude. I swear to God, I'm sitting still, watch him vibrate.
A lot of balls and courage to admit that you finally hooked up with a guy after years and years.
It's almost like he's jerking under the table during this.
Admit that you
finally hooked up with a guy after years and years of speculation. Look at him going like,
finally hooked up with a guy after years and years of torment of you being gay, which you've denied. Finally,
he's biting. He's bouncing and he's biting so hard. It like, I mean, we could analyze this for so many days. You think we're going to get through a 2-hour podcast of this today? No. We got an hour left. You know what I mean? Like, we're going to make it 13 minutes into this.
I'm not gay, man. I didn't know it was a guy, Vince.
Right, I agree that potentially you didn't know, but finally we have evidence.
I agree that potentially you didn't know
that you hook up with a guy.
Yeah, that's true. It happened.
And KC did not.
That is true. It happened. I did hook up with a guy. He took his pants off. I saw the penis. I was like, you got me. Get in here. And I spread my ass.
Deny it. He actually brought it to the show. And obviously we have video proof of what's going on. And episode 1 will be that. I didn't know where to take our series. Should we start from the beginning when you were?
I love how the first one you have to pick. Let's gay off on the first one.
Let's gay off.
Well, I mean, ultimately that was something that people always thought.
Look at his face. Again, it is scrimp adjacent.
Just look at all my scrimp here.
But he's also like giddy about it. You can tell these are happy memories he's suppressing. He purses his lips together so tight. Almost like he's got a mouthful of semen and he's scared it's going to leak out.
But
yeah. No, I'm with you, man. It's cool. It's totally cool. And it's a good idea. I think it's a great one to talk about because looking at that person, anyone would say, what did you really think that was a woman? No offense to that person, but for anyone to think that that's like a hot girl, I don't, except for Benji. Benji's like, hey, man, you mind if I give her a call? Like,
I mean, this doesn't even make sense. A minute ago, he's like, I'm not gay. I didn't know it was a guy. And now he's saying anyone who looked at that and thought it was a hot girl was out of their mind. Of course, it's a man. So you're admitting you knew it was a man? Like, which is it? You didn't know it was a guy? Or anyone who looked at him could have told that was a guy? Like, that's wild. That doesn't even make sense.
Benji, no, that's totally cool with me. But I'm oh shit, I forgot to do that. But Vince, I'm with you. I gotta read the green and the purple. Case you sleep with Rita G. That's a funny story. I didn't, but I'll tell you the whole story.
Who was Rita G?
Rita G was the girl with the most perfect natural breasts, and they were perfect. She was a lesbian, but it's a funny story, and I will tell you that. Good question, LLook05.
There's a lot of guys. I was watching Dalish laugh the other day on the stream with Ray, because I think she picked up on this too. You know, a lot of 23-year-old girls are pretty dumb, but Every once in a while, I see some intelligence. But Dalish was listening to Ray, and I think she caught the same thing I caught. You tell me if I'm wrong, Dalish, but you were laughing, and I think you were laughing at the same thing I was laughing at. Somehow, in the conversation with Ray, a couple of women came up. I don't even remember what women. It doesn't really matter. But within 1 minute, like 2 women got mentioned, and Ray's only comment, or like you could see him like searching through his Rolodex of like, who's that? And he kept going like, oh yeah, she's a hot girl. She's really hot. And then like another girl came up and he was like, who's that? Oh yeah, I like her. She's really attractive. She's a hot girl. She's beautiful. She's a hot girl. And it's like, that's how Ray compartmentalizes women, I guess. And it's almost like he's doing right now, where they're just like, Rita, oh, she was the one with the perfect tits. It's like they can't even stop their own brain from saying, like, you know, a normal guy might have that opinion or thought, but like you wouldn't say that. Like when you mention a person, you wouldn't go like, do you know Beverly? Oh yeah, she's hot. Yeah, well anyway, she's coming over to dog sit. Oh, yeah, she's really smoking hot. Yeah, she dates one of my good friends. Anyway, she's coming over to dog sit. God, she's got like perky, perfect tits, right? It's like, Jesus Christ. Like, what the fuck? And so, like, any woman that gets brought up, they almost have to go like, oh, yeah, she's pretty. It's like, we weren't talking about her looks at all. Yeah, I know her. She's hot. It's like, ugh. It's just a weird way to like, I can't even really explain it. I just like, I thought Dalish caught it because she kept giggling every time he would mention whether a girl was hot or not when she came up. And it's like, we weren't even talking about like looks or like you dating somebody or anything like that. You just had to keep mentioning, oh yeah, her, she's hot. Ray has a fish brain. yeah, it's full of flaky food.
Thank you very much.
Part of the criticism you received from the blooming fat onion was that you were just reading chats, which I actually had
blooming fat onion
told you maybe before or after that show. It's like, it's cool to do as an amateur, but eventually it just slows the show down when you just sit there and you're looking at every chat and reading it.
I at the last couple minutes, I always appreciate the audience, and I'm going to read a couple of their things. But when they do this thing called the super chat, I have to read it, or else I'm a fucking asshole.
Yeah, I agree. Look, if they're going to pay, you might as well read it. But just the point is that eventually you move on and you just have a show that flows. And I actually like hearing the fans ask you questions because
I mean, Vince, from you know, getting a lesson from that guy who obviously has his finger on knowing how to broadcast. I mean, he's done so much in this space. I mean,
it's like, I don't even want to, like, this isn't even about me, but like, do you want to do a contest about who's broadcasted more hours or not? I will. I don't know how long he was on the Stern Show. But I have thousands and thousands and thousands of hours of broadcast experience. Not on terrestrial radio, but like, do you want to talk about actual time talking into a mic to an audience? Because I got to believe I'd put everything on at dollars to donut holes that I beat you. I'm not even, like, this isn't even kidding, and it doesn't even matter. But do you want to measure tape links with our dicks, or how do you want to do it? I'd be willing to bet I've talked into a microphone longer than you. I'd be willing to bet that. Is Casey giving you a backhanded compliment? No, he's being facetious. These guys fail to see Howard Stern was laughing at them, not with them. Yeah. Again, they conjure up the name as if Howard's going to stand up behind him and go like, you messing with KC? It's like, no one's doing that. Again, get a hold of Howard. I bet you. Get a hold with Howard. Have him tell us what a great broadcaster you were. That doesn't exist. You're a laughing stock, Casey. You're a laughing stock. Nobody thinks you're a great broadcaster. Nobody. So yeah, I have broadcasted. I'd bet money on it. You're not talking to a guy who started yesterday. Thousands and thousands of months and months, as Corey would say. Patrick, keep your arms down, please. I don't like the thought of the amount of testosterone flowing through those veins when I see those hairy-ass arms. Shave them or hide them. I don't have that. They're not. Come on. That's not that bad. Look how shiny I am right there. Is that a hairy arm? I think that's about average. I don't like your attitude.
He was competing with Howard, wasn't he? or Amos? He was in that.
See, this is the insult. Hold on. He's broadcasted so long. He was competing with Howard, wasn't he? It's like, more than you. You're not Howard. You ain't Howie. You knew Howard and he used you on his show. That doesn't make you Howard. That doesn't make you the guy. So you don't get to hold Howard up as your experience, as your career. Because it ain't. Again, I'm betting you don't have the guy's number. You don't have the guy's contact info. You don't get to hold him up to fight me. You don't get to play that Pokemon card. I don't even know how Pokemon works. Is that accurate?
Who obviously has his finger on knowing how to broadcast. I mean, he's done so much in this space. I have. Like it or not, admit it or not, recognize it or not, I pioneered podcasting. I was one of the very, very first. Like it or not. That's a fact. That's a fact, as Kevin would say. Yeah, it's so insane to pretend that's not true. I was the first one to do a 24-hour podcast by myself. That's a fact. That's a fact. You can't hook up music to your board. Don't make fun of me broadcasting, motherfucker. You can't play music to an audience. Howard fired his weird dumbass. That's a fact. Patrick invented the concept of entertainment. The Pokemon reference was on point. He was competing with Howard, wasn't he? Or Amos? He was in that mix, I think. I don't know. I could be wrong, but
yeah, I think it was. But I get what he's saying. We're trying to put him down that he's never done anything. And
Vince, I love Vince. I get what you're saying. You're putting him down, saying he's never done anything. I got it. We get the bit.
I'm not putting anybody down, and I would prefer to talk about something else.
Every time Vince brings it up, he tries to get him off the subject of Melton, and he can't do it.
You keep saying that, but I'm just saying like that he does have good advice as to how to run the show. I'm not saying that he actually has a show that anyone cares about.
And what would lead you to believe that? Would it be his numbers, or would it be? Have you heard the show?
What? Why does he keep bringing up numbers? Is there anywhere where you're beating me on numbers? Because if numbers, all these guys and their fucking numbers. All these guys and their fucking numbers. Do you guys want to know my numbers today? Well, this show has 1,425 views. Currently, we have 286 concurrent live viewers. Up 303. We have 94 likes. Don't forget to hit that like button. That matters so much to us over here. Ooh, likes. Nom, 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 nom. We've only made $25 in super chats, and I can't get over it. We've only made $24.94 in super chats today, guys. And my brain's melting about it. I need that money for rent. So I am spiraling. I can't stop thinking about the goal and the numbers and the money. It may look like I'm having fun covering KC, but in my back of my mind, I'm just, how am I going to pay the bills? Only $25 in super chats. The numbers. Yeah, okay, let's do the numbers, KC. Where do you beat me in numbers? If we're going to do numbers, like, okay, I have shit numbers. I do. I have shit numbers. This ain't a big show. But they all smoke yours. They smoke your numbers. What a weird bitch. It'd be like if I kept comparing myself to you in endurance running. It's like, well, Fat Boy ain't good at that. Why do I keep bringing it up? I don't know. He's a numbers guy. Yeah, I guess. But it's weird to keep bringing up the metric with which you are losing by. Oh, what, do they have more broadcast experience than me? Yes. Objectively, yes. You were a sidekick producer on a very, very popular show. More eyeballs definitely were on you. That you beat me by. I bet you talking into a microphone, I've got you smoked. I'm very lonely and have a lot of time on my hands. Join the Overdose to hear it all. NobodyLikesOnions.com/overdose. Best way to support the show. Use promo code AGAIN to sign up now and save 10%. And by the way, when you join the Overdose, when you sign up for the Overdose and support the show in this very, very important way, which I beg all of you to do, please, it means a lot. After you do that, you'll save 15% on everything in our store. Everything in our store, NobodyLikesOnions.com/store, you save 15% on automatically. And that includes all the new stuff, like the new hats. White on white, black on black, and of course the steel toe merch, hoodies and shirts. Go look at Dirty Dalish if you want to see these modeled well. Back to this dope.
I've heard the show. No, his numbers indicate that he shouldn't be listened to. However,
his numbers indicate that he shouldn't be listened to. I love that. I don't even know what that means, and I like it. His numbers indicate he shouldn't be listened to. Pickle Diff, thank you for joining. I didn't even know we had a Pickle Diff. Welcome.
The advice that he's giving is...
Why don't you join the channel, guys? We need 12 more members today to get to 500.
KC Armstrong may have hooked up with a tranny, but honestly, who hasn't at some point? Let he who is without sin cast the first butt plug.
Ugh. Don't cast butt plugs. They can hurt, especially the metal ones.
Is 95% accurate.
Good. John Doe, $10.
Look at him. Watch how
listen to.
upset he gets when Vince points out I make a lot of good points.
However, the advice that he's giving is 95% accurate.
Good. John Doe, $10. Thank you. But you didn't leave a question, but thank you very much for
So he just cuts Vince off because the guy gave a super sticker. I think the guy gave a super sticker. He's like, you didn't type a question.
giving that to us. That's very nice of you. I appreciate that. I got you, Vince. I hear you, man. Look, good luck to that guy. I hope he's doing what works for him, and I'm happy for him. I hope he continues. I wish him continued success.
He wishes me continued success. And that's very nice.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, it doesn't matter. Just the point is that he does have good advice. And I think maybe on our first episode, we may go through a few of his tips to you.
He's saying on an upcoming show, we're going to revisit all the onion things that he said about you. It's like, oh, fuck. He hates this. Casey's like, well, you just enough about the onion.
You like it or not is one thing.
No, I don't. Maybe if just make up a different name. I don't want to give him any attention.
So his stupid animal brain, the base of his reptilian skull is like, yeah, I mean, give me the advice. It's fine, but just change the name. I don't want to hear. I can't even process Melton telling me anything. Tell me it's from my aunt. Tell me it's from my grandma. Tell me Howard called and gave me some advice, but don't make up a different name. It's like, oh, shit. Tell me I'm living in your head rent-free without telling me I'm living in your head rent-free. That's fine. The advice is good, but make up a different name. Just make up a different name.
No, I mean, I already gave him attention. It's like the blooming fat onion or fat bald onion or fat hairy onion or something like that. I don't know what the channel
I'm bald and hairy. My arms are hairy. My head's bald.
But I told you, when you text me, I listened to it on the treadmill, and he does have a few.
So hold on. So Casey texted the show to Vince. Casey said he doesn't watch. He's not interested. The guy's mean. I don't want to watch it. I don't watch it. But Vince just let it slip. When you texted me it on the treadmill, I watched it. So Casey's texting people. I imagine he's texting Shuley. He's texting everybody like, who's this guy? Shut him down. Get rid of Melton.
Good points.
Okay, well, all right, good.
See, he doesn't like it. Stop mentioning that I texted you. Okay, that's fine. Good. All right, moving on. I don't want to talk about it.
Treadmill, and he does have a few good points.
Okay, well, all right, good. But half of the show doesn't want to talk about him or
by half the show, he means him. Half the people on the screen. Everyone in the chat wants to talk about it. Everyone in the chat wants to talk about it.
Or learn anything from him. So we'll talk off the air about that. But
Maybe.
Norma Stitz
keeps trying to get the conversation out of it. And Vince is great. What a great troll Vince is.
Says, can Casey be sued for promoting Artie's coming soon? Now, why would you do that, Norma? In fact, I just talked to him right before I came on the air.
But it's a great question Norma has, because you text me saying, hey, I can't do it at 8. Let's do it at 9. Artie's coming on the show. So I asked, are you sure you're getting him on tonight? And you said, no, he's coming on another time.
Right.
So what is it? What is the deal with Artie?
Uh-oh.
What's the deal with Artie?
Artie
coming on next week.
No, he ain't. No, he ain't.
Oh, do you remember when you were
Big Blue 128? But no comment is what's going on with that.
Big Blue is another fan of my old show from
Sharon just ordered some stuff from our store. Thank you, Sharon. And you can order stuff from our store too. NobodyLikesOnions.com/store. New stuff coming next week. You're gonna like the way you look. Thanks, Share Bear.
And the
Oh, well, you did some funny stuff. So obviously he's a good fan of comedy.
Yeah, he doesn't like me though. So remember when you were waiting for Artie with your girl in California to see him at a hotel? And
remember when you were waiting with Artie with your girl to see him at a hotel?
Artie doesn't come down. You're sitting there waiting with your girl.
Sent him a Viagra.
So basically, Casey walks up to a hotel knowing that Artie's there. Now, Artie went on the show and claimed he had a girl in the room, which is such bullshit.
No, that's not. No, that's definitely what happened. He was at if I remember correctly, he was at a signing, and I was supposed to meet him at the hotel, and he was with a girl, and I was waiting for him to come down, and he was doing his own thing.
That's what Artie said. Now, Artie was on drugs then, and he was not with a girl. Artie's not going to be with a girl for more than 10, 15 minutes. He let you wait down in there for over 4 hours, and then eventually you go home. You do.
Oh, no. Oh, no. No, 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 no. It can't be. this can't be. This guy is such a desperate, needy bitch. He's trying to say Artie told him to come meet him at the hotel. I'm going to guess that's not true. I'm going to guess that he was stalking Artie and went to Artie's hotel. None of these guys want anything to do with KC anymore. Shuli apparently didn't pay KC anything. And later on in this show, Vince, I think, trolls him and says that Shuli gave him a hotel room and $400. And you see it flicker on KC's like, you got $400? And then he tries to act cool. Well, for me, it was about promoting the new show and not really about it's great. But he's saying that Artie told him he would come down and then didn't. And this fucking desperate dummy waited in the lobby for over 4 hours for Artie, just sitting in the lobby like, no, my friend's coming down. Can I get another water? No, my friend's coming. Don't clear the bread off the table. My friend's coming down here, you know?
Basically made me look like a fucking cuck.
No, my friend Artie's coming. No, he's coming. It's been 4 hours. He'll be down any minute. My friend Artie, he's coming. We were on Stern. Do you want an autograph? I was on Stern.
Do send them up a Viagra to the room, which
how do you know this, Vince? From what you heard on the radio.
Look at this. Look at this. He's upset because Vince knows what happened.
Video.
No, I know information.
If we're gonna do this, you got to understand that I know more than what is told, and
I know more than what is told.
Why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying? Oh my God! Stop fucking lying.
If I'm lying, I'm gonna tell you that.
If I'm lying, I'm gonna tell you that. That's how I work. I tell an elaborate lie, and then I immediately follow it up with, that was a lie. And I'll tell you that. I always lie and then say I was a lie.
I'm not gonna tell you something that isn't true. I mean, I was there. I know. So that's an important thing, brother.
I understand. Did you see Artie with a girl?
He said brother.
I don't think so.
Did you see Artie with a girl? And he's like, no. So Artie didn't want to hang out with you. Artie just didn't want to hang out with you.
Did you wait for 5 hours for Artie to not come down?
No. Actually, I did see him probably after 2 hours, I believe.
Okay. Have you known Artie to be such a sexual person he can be with a girl for over 2 hours?
I don't know what he was doing up there, Vince, and that's his deal.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter what he was doing. I don't believe he was with a girl. I believe he was with drugs.
Okay, well, that's your opinion, but don't say it that like it's fact, because you don't know that.
Obviously, what I say is what my opinion is, not what I observed.
Right. That's okay.
Yeah, and I get that. So back to,
how come I can't?
What do you want to do?
I got to do that. Yeah.
This is the pro broadcaster, guys. Remember.
By the way, your video looks a lot better today than other times, because the fat onion was critiquing your green screen, but today it looks pretty good.
Thank you. Yeah, I called him. He gave me some pointers because he's such a mensch.
Emotional damage.
Why can't I click on some of the ones? I have to click on the green ones. And okay, I can't click on. So that's good. All right. So the first episode, I think, if you wouldn't mind, Vince, explain to people like what we're exactly doing. We're going to be playing, right? Like,
yeah. So basically, Casey and I, when we were talking in the back room of Shuli's show, we're like, look, we both have contrasting personalities, but also similar personalities. You know my style, and Casey is one of the reasons why I even do this, because for all the years, Casey took so much shit about being gay. I know a lot of people could be offended about being gay. You know what's something cool about being gay? It used to be something where if I called you gay, I could say
So
KC.
this is almost Vince like trying to coach KC and tell him, if you are gay, it's okay. If you're bi, if you have feelings for men, if you want to fuck men, if dudes make you come, it's okay. Being gay is fine now. There's no stigma. In fact, it's celebrated. And it's okay to be gay. And Casey is almost giggling and bubbly about it. It's just not the right, like, this isn't how a person would behave if they're not gay.
He's gay, and you could sue me for defamation in court. But now the law has changed, basically saying like, if you're gay, it's not such a bad thing. So you can out anyone you want now without any financial repercussion in court. So you could say that Shuli's gay, and there would be no repercussion. But for the longest time, I mean, Casey took so much shit about being gay, which he wasn't. I mean, he only hooked up with one guy. He only let one guy grab his penis.
I mean, look at this. Look at his face. Look at this man. You know, if you fucked a dude, you wouldn't make this face like, ain't I a rapscallion? Ain't I a stinker? I'm always sucking dudes off. I'm not even gay. I just like dudes who look like girls who look like dudes, you know?
You know, on purpose. And, you know, that's going to be for the fans to decide whether that's gay or not.
I'm a stinker because I suck off dudes.
Or whether he's gay or not.
Oh my
but
God.
As we go back,
it's up to the listeners to find out if I'm gay or not. Keep listening.
I mean, because there's so much history with KC, which Fat Onion has no idea how much you put into this show. I mean, any true fan of this show.
How much he puts into this show? To this show? He done put in shit. 15 minutes yesterday, he fucked around with his iPhone like a kid who couldn't figure out the fucking passcode. Couldn't get his guest on, made 1,900 apologies and excuses full of cope, and then shut her down, and then removed the show. We got it.
And that's fine. You know, you can't. Not everyone is going to like you. And let me just do this real quick, Vince, because I don't ever want to be labeled as a guy who doesn't who's ungrateful. Yeah. Norma Star, can KC be sued for? Okay, we did that one, and that brought up something, Vince. Can someone sue, like you were talking about, if someone's gay? Can you sue that? How about now? I don't know the pronouns and the this, the they, the. Can I be sued?
I don't know the pronouns. The this, the they.
For misgendering someone?
No, there's only two genders, male or female, no matter what you do, no matter how much.
So look at his face again. There's nothing funny about this. He's like, ha.
Surgery one person has, you can never biologically change your sex. You're either male or female. So the guy you hooked up with, no matter how much he does, it will always be a guy. He can get implants. He can chop off. He can amputate his penis.
Now look, Casey's being educated here. He's like, oh, really? He'll always be a guy? There's nothing he can do to become a woman? Casey's almost like, oh, wow. I didn't know that. I thought if you cut your penis off, you were a lady now. Oh, look at his face. He's really learning something.
But you hooked up with a guy, no matter what.
Really? Like, even if he's got a, he took the thing downstairs off, he took the things upstairs off, took the hormones, he's got the high voice, he's still considered a guy?
Still a guy. You can never, ever, ever change your biological sex, no matter what anybody says.
Wow.
Wow. Just what I said. Wow. Oh, wow.
So you hooked up with a guy no matter what.
Well, look, I told you I'd come to grips with that a long time ago. Look 5, KC. This is great.
You came to grips, and he came from your grip.
KC, $100 super chat if you suplex Vinny into a wrestling mat covered in ringworm. It's funny. Hey, did you ever get ringworm, Vin?
Yeah, I mean, I had it a million times. I mean, you had it too, right?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
no doubt.
all wrestlers have had ringworm. There's nothing you could do about it because they don't really clean the mats that well. And it's really by contact, skin contact to contact. Did you get ringworm from Darlene?
No, I think I got maybe just some scrapes from her stubble. His stubble.
I mean, this is not a bit. He knew it was a dude. He was like up in Alaska, no laws when you're drinking claws. No one's gonna know.
Double. Let's go, Brandon. I'm with you on that one.
Oh, KC, did you ever vote?
Yes.
In a presidential election?
For?
In a presidential election?
Yes, I did.
In the last one.
The last one I voted for, Mr. Trump.
Yeah, no, I figured. I mean, most people on Long Island are Republican. That's where we both grew up in.
But all New York is all Democrats.
Yeah, well, I'm from all Democrats. Get this, though. They want to move the migrants into the gymnasiums of a Brooklyn school. And guess what all you Democrats did? They all are protesting. All of a sudden, they...
All right, so Vince is on a tangent here. Get it under control, Vince.
Don't want the...
If there's something that's any politics, don't do any of that. But...
Hey, everybody in the chat, you know I haven't watched the KC tranny vid from Stern. You've all told me about it. We'll watch it eventually. I understand it pertains to this story. But no, of course, I haven't seen that yet. You've been watching. You know we haven't watched it. We'll get to it. Everybody calm down. We're watching this right now. Hey, there's another video that you're not watching right now. It's like, I know. You'll be okay. We're going to finish this one up. We're not going to finish this one up, but we're going to watch some more of this one. Then we're going to look at Dirty Dalish's birthday cards. If you're just tuning in, we have an art project contest today. It's Dirty Dalish's birthday. If you don't know who that is, Google Dirty Dalish, Dalish, and enjoy. And then it's her birthday, so we're having people design birthday cards. Email them in, Patrick at nobodylikesonions.com. Win a fabulous prize if she picks your card to be the best one today.
Just got back from watching my nephew play tennis. Vince, you would hate this.
Melton, you're just scratching the surface with this subject. I know. That's why I can't be expected to get to it all today. Melton, did you watch this other video about this video? And then we'll watch that one. You'll be like, but there's another video. It's like, okay. There's a channel in the Discord called NLO Suggestions. That channel is only for things you think I should cover. So if you have a video, if you have something you want me to see, the producer Joe video, all that stuff, if it's worth going on the show, if you think it's worth going on the show, post it in that thread. Don't post it in Onions. Don't post it in MLC. It'll get lost. Only post in the NLO Suggestions thread things that you think I need to see that are worthy of going on the show. That way I can find them easily and bring them over. I do want to watch it. I do want to do it. But we can't do it today. We can't just get into everything Casey's done gay in one day. We're going to have to do this during KC Armstrong month.
A ref. There wasn't an umpire. To them, just
volleyball. You grew up kid and I wasn't, so we ref. Now that's
it's like it looked to me a little bit by the way, my nephew did a great job, so big thumbs up for him. So thorough, Joe Burrow. Casey, how much money?
Hold on, because they're saying like trust the process, and beloved chat are saying I normally would, but he's saying 10 things that are completely wrong. I say 100 things that are wrong every day. I can't be right about everything. I'm only reading the chat. So you remember yesterday in the chat, like people were adamant that Casey wasn't a producer. I'm an idiot. He was in the whack pack. 900 people then in the chat popped up and like, no, he was a producer. And then I got 400 emails overnight that were like, he was a producer on Howard Stern for sure. A legit producer. He wasn't a joke or part of the whack pack. He had responsibilities there for producing segments of the show. So I'm sure a million things I've said today are wrong. We'll correct them as we go forward. I'm a new guy learning about a new guy, and we'll correct it as we go forward. I try to say everything with a grain of salt. Well, I'm watching here. I'm giving you my live reaction and interpretation. If there's a bunch of things I've gotten wrong, the best way to get them to me live in the moment right now today would be to shoot me a bullet point email list, and I'll go over that real quick on the show. But I certainly can't just abandon videos and add new videos to the show today. The show's done today. The show's done today. Not done like I'm about to shut it off, but done like we've got stuff for the show today. Show's booked up. You know, if Chad wanted to come on or Shuli or Bob, we don't have time today. The show's done for today. But there is a suggestions thread, and I do have an email. And you're a smart guy, beloved chatter. We like you here. Nobody's upset. But we just can't, like, squeeze everything in. And I certainly can't fact check myself on the fly. So, of course, a lot's going to be very wrong today. So, yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of stuff wrong here. Just like we found out, like, it wasn't, he was talking about a previous girlfriend in California at the beginning. But for 5 or 10 minutes, we thought he was talking about the tranny girl. So we'll figure it out. I don't have to be right about everything, you know? Like, let me figure it out. Sometimes you know more than me, and you're watching me go like, he's got it wrong, but he'll get it. Or I won't, you know? This is a comedy show. I don't pride myself on being accurate about KC Armstrong's life. Who gives a shit? He could have his mouth wrapped around a muffler sucking down smoke for all I give a fuck. You know, none of this is important. But I do appreciate it. I do want the info. We do want to correct stuff. Hold on. I sent an email, sensitive information included. Okay. We'll try. I'm not trying to do it. Let's go down here. God damn, some cards coming in. Hey, Russell, thanks for joining the Overdose. Appreciate that. Patrick, do a deep dive on the KC business that he said he's running. WMAP, World's Most Amazing People. He said to Vince, the attorney, now that's how he makes his money. From what I can see, it's been dormant for 3 to 4 years. I believe his studio is in his mom's basement that he lives with in Port Jefferson, Long Island. His website has had no activity since 2018. That is worth looking into. Here's a screenshot of KB putting Bob's number in Chad's stream. Yeah, I mean, if that's the real Kevin Brennan, which, you know, Kevin does do that kind of stuff. Check out KB's strike on his channel at the very beginning of the video. I believe you. I don't know what's going on with Chad. But I'm here for it, baby.
For you to eat 8 McMuffins. I got to tell you something, man. Even after I cut weight for the whole week or whatever, I couldn't eat 8 McMuffins. Vince, could you eat 8 McMuffins?
No, not at all.
How close?
No, maybe 2 or 3. I would say.
Yeah, I could do 2 or 3.
Imagine getting hosts to answer this question honestly.
Probably.
The Fat Onion and also myself, we were trying to calculate how much Shuli made during the event that we went to. How much did you get paid for that?
Oh,
that's a nothing. That's a 0. That's a nothing.
I got paid $400.
I mean, watch how long it takes KC. He's so embarrassed by this.
During the event that we went to. How much did you get paid for that?
Oh,
I got paid $400. Was it more or less?
You got paid $400?
You got paid $400?
Was it more or less?
You get paid $400?
I got paid 400. Was it more or less?
You get paid $400?
And it's such a genuine moment. It's so real. Look at how upset he is. $400. As if that's even enough to go from Long Island to the middle of nowhere, Pennsylvania overnight. You got paid $400?
Need for that.
Oh,
he doesn't. He's trying to figure out how to say zero.
I got paid 400.
Right here, watch.
Was it more or less?
You get paid $400?
He just realized his worth.
And I didn't even do it. By the way, I was supposed to just be on the podcast. And then
He's so mad. I was a star performer. This guy was just supposed to be on the podcast? I didn't get $400.
I was bringing High Pitch Eric. Now, High Pitch Eric wasn't paid anything.
Now, I 100% believe that Vince wasn't paid $400. But he's just saying this to troll KC. And KC just, anything KC, you know, he's a troll magnet.
Technically, I'm the one who paid him $200. But what I did was, yeah, but I had bet on one of the UFC fighters because Shuli put us up at the hotel that had FanDuel there. So yeah, I'm like, I bet enough so that I can pay his $200 because I promised him $200. So he actually won that bet, and I didn't have to actually pay him anything. Yeah. So you were paid less than $400.
Well, no, Vince. What I saw this thing going into it is I saw this as a way to meet these people that I associate with every day. I saw it as a promotion.
Yeah, I saw it. I didn't see it as a way to make money. I saw it as a way to meet the people I interact with every day. I'm not shitting you. 8 people watched this guy's show live before we started clowning on it. 8 people. The people you meet every day, the people you interact with.
Promotion because I'm new. These people that saw this thing going into it as I saw it.
So you were paid less than $400.
Well, no, Vince. What I saw this thing going into it is I saw this as a way.
So you were paid less than $400? He goes, Vince, I saw this thing going into it.
To meet these people that I associate with every day.
Who? Name 3. Who?
I saw it as a promotion because I'm new.
I saw it as a promotion
to get me out there. So the money, as much as I could, because I was hustling. I was selling books afterwards, and then
I'd love to know how many books he sold afterwards. I
tried to set up this after party at a strip club.
I tried to set up an after party at a strip club. How does that make you money? I tried to get as much as I could. I was hustling. I tried to sell books. I tried to set up an after party at a strip club. How does that make you money?
So I was hustling, but
setting up an after party at a strip club isn't hustling. That makes no money.
Mainly, it was a promotional thing. It was to get out.
Imagine this guy in a strip club. I bet he spends all the money. God forbid there's an Asian man there. He'll go home broke.
Because this is a new. It's a new step.
This is just a guy telling you he makes no money. You know, this is every investor you've ever met on the side of, hey, yo, can I talk to you for a second? I got this idea.
For me, it's a new area. So that's what I had to gain from it. So the money I wasn't too concerned with.
Yeah, like
losers don't ask for money. Giant losers give it back. Hey, Ray. You don't have to pay me. I'll send it back. Okay.
The way I look at it, because I'm not necessarily so involved in, you want to read that one?
Sure. Bo Archer. Thank you, Bo. If you call Howard or Artie and get either one on the phone, then Patrick Melton disappears.
No!
Yes. Patrick Melton disappears. then if you call Howard or Artie and get either one on the phone, then Patrick Melton disappears.
Poof.
P.S. Are you high on cigarettes? Not really getting it. Vince, explain it to me. I'm going to be asking you a lot.
They're basically saying that
Me.
this guy, I don't know, Patrick Melton is that fat onion.
Did you ever see that what is that it's called the human centipede? If you put half of a spotty beard on the human centipede, that's the guy that I saw that I
What, you saying
he got me.
Bad?
He
looks
got
like
me.
a human centipede.
Oh
with
shit, he got me. Human centipede. Fuck.
Beard. And that's all I'll say. But explain the rest to me. Centipede with a blotchy beard. And that's all I'll say. But explain the rest to me.
Yeah, so they're basically saying if you actually got one of those two on the phone, then this guy Melton would be impressed.
Okay. So I got Artie coming on next week. Are we happy now?
Watch this. Because from anyone normal, that would be the perfect comeback. Well, Artie's coming on the show next week. Well, first of all, nobody thinks you can't get a hold of Artie. I mean, I bet you can't, but that wasn't it's Howard. But he says to Vince, well, I'm having Artie on next week. Isn't that good enough? Watch this.
Well, we'll see if he comes on, because remember that.
We'll see if he comes on. Why? Because remember what?
Artie coming on next week. Are we happy now?
Well, we'll see if he comes on, because remember that hotel incident.
What hotel? What
I said, you know, where you're waiting for him to come down and come down. What is that?
With a girl? What does that have to do with anything? What does that have to do with who comes on my podcast, Vince?
Well, Artie promised to come down and he didn't.
No, and he did at the end of I was being rude because I was interrupting him with a young lady. And
Got him!
that's kind of a to cock block your own friend is kind of being a dick, and he should have never come down at all. But why am I high on cigarettes? What does that mean?
That I don't understand. You don't smoke cigarettes, right?
I don't smoke. No,
yeah, I've never did in my life. I would never smoke cigarettes.
Me neither, buddy.
Yeah. So we were talking about the fat onion and then Artie and then Howard. The real issue is, yeah, they're saying that I'm trolling you.
What does that mean? Explain that to me.
He doesn't even know what trolling means.
Oh no.
We got a guy who in 2023 doesn't even know what trolling means.
He said I'm basically sabotaging your show by
I see
talking
it
shit
going as
about
a
you.
good show. I see it being entertaining and asking some tough but interesting questions. Why is that trolling?
Yeah, it's annoying. This is my style. You know what my style is. I'm not going to come on here and kiss your ass,
right?
Unless it's
I didn't
needed.
expect you to, buddy.
Yeah, no. And by the way, I mean, KC has given us all Stern fans hours and hours of content, beautiful content, starting from the beginning and then right up, really even
right
past,
up to kissing a guy.
Right up.
Yeah,
to,
but I wasn't here for that. I'm a new fan, and I've come to this show now, and this guy's shit. So you don't get to keep running to your closet and digging out your old degrees anymore, Melton. You got to do something now. You're not on Stern anymore. Stern won't take your calls. So you don't get to keep holding up your Stern certificate and going, I used to be a contender.
You know, letting a guy grab his cock. I mean, that is...
Look, he gets giddy about it. Every time this guy brings up the gay stuff, he goes like, "Aw, that is true."
Just kissing a guy,
right?
See,
right up to letting a guy grab his cock. I mean, that's beautiful. Who else is really going to give us that out of any one of the show members? It wasn't Chuli.
I did suck a guy off once. That was crazy. I was like, "Are you sure you're a woman? Are you sure this is a female penis?"
It wasn't really anyone else.
He is like that. He is like a stunted brained, I get a Chip Chipperson, like, dumb college jock vibe off him. He's always just like, oh, that's crazy.
It's KC that did that.
Well, I guess I'm so lucky that I was the one that happened to.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately,
I just gotta
he's giddy about it.
Tell you this, man. I know we're gonna talk more about it, but I think you brought it up one time. We were talking back. I don't remember, but the one
I don't remember what I'm trying to say, but I'm going to say it anyway. Get ready, everybody.
thing that I'll just mention it because we are going to talk about it. Is I got a note from this dude. I'm on the plane. I wasn't even going to read it, so I'm sitting there. And I'm going back, and I open it up, and it gets to the part where it says something that you should know. I haven't done this to anyone else, but you need to know I am a man. I put the thing down on my lap and I just look up, and the only thing I could do is just start laughing.
Now, this doesn't even make sense. The joke is that he hooked up with this guy, so we don't know. We'll get to it. I understand you guys may know. Well, I haven't heard the details about the hooking up. Like, did they fuck, suck, cuddle, spoon? What's hooking up? Kiss? He mentioned making out because he said the stubble. But he kind of slips a little here because he goes, this guy wrote me a letter. First of all, that's a serious relationship. A letter? Oh, okay. And he said, I wasn't even going to read it, but I did. And that's when he told me he was a guy. It's like, why weren't you going to read it? I don't carry around letters with me that I have no intention of reading. You know, yesterday I opened a P.O. box that had several pieces of trash in it, like business cards and photos and trinkets and little baggies. That shit's all in the garbage. I don't hold it and go, one day I might want these Grimace buttons. I might look for a business card for Skippy Sprinkles one day. I don't want to look for that. It's garbage, so that's where it goes. The same where if a man I didn't know wrote me a note, it would go in the garbage. This lady man meant something to you, and you had this note. And the fact that you go, I wasn't even going to read it, it implies that you already knew she was a man and you were willing to let this go and be like, oh, fuck them. But you also claim that you found out she was a man in the note. I know that every time I've ever hooked up with a woman and she gives me a note and I, read it days later and they're like, I actually am a man and have a dick, I always go, all you can do is laugh. Classic Melton, accidental peen, not again. Accidental peen, not again. So none of this even makes sense logically.
I was just like, it was half laughing because Casey is such a fucking moron. Half laughing like this happened to you.
That's why her pussy had my dick covered in shit. Never again, Casey.
But I did write him back. I said, you got to be careful because there are people.
I wrote him back. We used to wait.
If you do this too, they will kick your ass. They will.
I'm cool. You wave your penis around in front of my face, I'll suck it off, cradle the balls, give you the old Long Island finishing move. But you got to be careful. Some guys aren't cool like me. Some guys like me aren't cool. They won't suck you off. They chop it off. They be mad. Some guys might bust down your door, steal your phone. You're lucky I'm a cool, calm, collected, emotionally stable, open-minded, woke individual. You're lucky you got a hold of me. Because a lot of guys wouldn't be this cool.
Will hurt you. I'm not that guy. I made that choice, and yeah, I'm embarrassed. And
so now he's saying I made that choice. It's like if you don't know that it's a man, there's no choice. You don't get to have it both ways. He's doing this thing where he's like, oh, I'm not gay. I didn't know it was a man. I'm embarrassed. This was a low point in my life. This was embarrassing. This was bad. But he also tries to own it. Like, look, I made that choice. I'm open like that. A lot of guys wouldn't be this cool. It's like, well, which is it?
I didn't see it coming. I feel like a moron. But you got to be careful because
I made that choice. I didn't see it coming. I look like a moron. It's like,
people will hurt you if you do that again. If
you try to be gay around people again, they will hurt you.
Have you ever seen something like that in court? Like
my old law partner that I used to work with, his best friend went to jail for 17 years for killing someone in the same situation. And he did it when he was in college when the cops roll up to his college. It wasn't Marist, but it was like one of those colleges upstate.
I feel like he would say the same thing to me. Like, look, I'm cool. I'm not going to fuck you up. But if you talk like this to some guys.
And
I had sex with him.
So the fact
an asshole.
No, you're not an asshole. I mean, ultimately, a man sees what he sees, and that's why the trans guys, they do that for a reason. They want to get you excited. So
we'll get more into this. Tell you everything. Yeah,
you knew.
Well, we'll talk about it.
Oh, this is good.
There's a difference.
Till I tell you everything. Yeah,
you knew subconsciously when you kiss a guy, there's a difference between kissing a girl.
Well, we'll talk about it.
Would you agree with that or no?
I see. I'm always the last to get the joke, Vince.
So Vince is like, you knew it was a guy, even subconsciously. You knew it was a guy.
And sometimes I'm thick. Sometimes I might be a little bit dumb or whatever at times. But that comes afterwards. And it was only until after where I remember this didn't make sense. This didn't make sense when I went to look through the eye hole, put his thumb on the eye hole. That doesn't make sense if it's a girl. All this stuff came in later, but we'll talk about it during our first episode.
I would say this, like, there's a saying, like, if you think it's a guy, it is. But then
he just keeps fucking hammering. How could a normal person think that this guy's helping him and not trolling him? He's so dumb.
Other indicator, it's a huge indicator, is the breast. Are they fake or are they completely flat? So a lot of people look for
like I've been with so many girls that have no tits. Like literally no tits. Almost like just tiny little mounds and a nipple. Like a little boy. So?
Adam's apple. But if you look for the breasts, were they fake or were they completely flat? They can have obviously fake breasts, but if they're completely flat, then that's
this whole conversation is so insane.
Another indicator. Also, having fake breasts is an indicator too.
Yeah, and my saving, I don't have any, but the only thing that was saving me at all was being Asian. No, that doesn't add up either. So take that.
No, you're right. Asians are
I thought all Asian women had a little penis.
Generally hairless. They come from a region where they don't smell, so like they don't sweat or have this aspect where they don't smell. So Asians are way more likely to trick a man than really any other race. By the way, what's your least favorite race?
As far as like being attracted to,
whatever.
Imagine answering this question. This guy's great. Vince is great. Fuck, is this good?
As far as like,
I mean, I almost would do the same exact thing Vince is doing. It would be the same exact thing.
I can't. I guess I can answer. Like, I don't like body hair.
Race? Like, what's your least favorite race?
I don't have a least favorite race because
we all do. Come on.
there are assholes and there are beautiful people either way. But
you know who we're talking about, right? You guys know the race we hate? Those email scammers.
I'm saying just to look at, to be attracted to someone. Any hairy, yeah, and
you ever see the movie Congo?
Like bald, don't like that.
That's not a race, though.
Pretty, KC, pretty.
Like,
yeah, I know, because there's no race. I can't put it on a race.
Do you like African? Do you hate African? Do you hate Asian?
There is, you can find a 10 anywhere, and any. So I'm not
any men's locker room this side of Philly. You can find a 10.
Good. That's not a good question to ask me because I can find calf muscles in some race.
What's going on?
Oh, mine was the 100-yard dash. I fucking hated the 100. Like the 40 was okay, but the 100.
10-9, 11-2.
Pretty much, but I was trying to.
No, I don't have any of that. People are just too sexy to me. I got this one here. It says show and poo poo sass alla grande.
Poo-poo sass alla grande.
Still in touch with Howard. I'm not. Vince, are you?
Told you. You don't get to keep referencing Howard as if you're still on the Howard show. You don't get to keep pretending like you still have talent or knowledge about broadcasting. You don't. He let you go, and you haven't spoken boo to that motherfucker since. Quit acting like you're in with Howard. You just got asked point blank by Papooses a la Grande. Are you still in touch with Howard? And you go, I'm not. Well, you wouldn't know it by how much you fucking talk about him.
I am not directly. And I get where and part of this series is going to explore what actually occurred to you during your childhood with your dad. I didn't really tell you this yet.
Oh, no.
And then really transforming that onto Howard as well. And
oh, fuck. That sounds wild.
The lack of unconditional love that you got from both.
These lies will guide
maybe
me home.
I mean, Howard's not my father, but we'll get to that episode when we get there.
I'm your daddy now. You're on the Melton Network.
Vince, why are you trolling KC? He's a nice guy. He's not some smug, arrogant jerk like Stuttering John or Shirley. Stop it. Hey, Illook 05, that's very nice of you to say that, but I don't see he's doing that at all. I see that he's a guy who likes to ask the tough questions, and he doesn't want to sugarcoat any questions. He doesn't want to do an interview or be a part of any show that's kind of like, when were you so great? That's what I see, buddy. But I appreciate you looking out for me. Vince, I don't see that. Are you trying to do that? I don't see that.
There's some truth in what he's saying. I mean,
he's literally telling him now to his face, there's some truth. I am trolling you a bit. He's saying it to his face. Hey, Corey, thanks for signing up for the overdose. I appreciate it.
I'm not intentionally trying to do that, but I want to press.
Trying to hurt me for some reason? It doesn't sound like that.
No, I'm not trying to hurt you. I'm trying to get to the bottom of certain questions. And you're right. I won't ask the general softball questions. That's not my style. But nor is it my style to force tough questions as well. Because I mean, we're embarking on a long series here, and I'm telling you where I would like to take it.
A long series,
as we agree to an equal co-host in what we're doing and what we're going to do. So I can't push you so hard. And what I did tell you, and you'll tell this to no matter what you say to me, say it on the air. If you want to make fun of me, say it. You want to make fun of my youngest daughter or my oldest son, go ahead and do it.
Never.
But I said to you, do it.
Yeah, I won't.
Look, if you can, I mean, sometimes they're annoying, so you can say something about them. That's fine with me. I'm not going to be one of these guys that cries about you talking about my kids. And another thing, look, the fat onion did give you a piece of advice, and everyone a piece of advice. If you're going to be on the internet, you got to be able to deal with lies.
That's what I'm saying.
I would really, unless he needs to be heard from, unless he's doing something.
These
where I have to
birthday
read
cards
it,
are
it's in
great.
Colors, I have to read it. I don't want to speak about. I don't want to punch down. I'm done with him. I'm not gonna. I'm gonna wish him luck. Or if that's who we're talking about, I wish him luck. I wish him continued success. But he's not in my world. He's just.
He's just
a
loser.
No better than anybody. But in this case, this is a waste of time to even speak with someone.
Yeah, let's face it. Right now, technically, he's punching up. Right, we have 2,000 subscribers. He's got 6,000. Neither is anything significant or material. However, I'm just saying that the themes that he was saying, I don't care who said it. Some of the things he was saying was accurate.
I don't give a
I
fuck.
don't want to acknowledge it.
Well, it's up to you. If you want.
Let's give this to me, okay? Because it's give and take here. We're being partners here. I don't want anybody who said mean things like that. You got to be on my side. You can ask the questions, but when I say I don't want to talk about,
I've said several times, leave me alone.
Some loser who is tough behind a computer. But you know what, Vince? You know what? I always believe this. I believe that the universe.
You can always tell he doesn't when he says that.
Universe has a way of working itself out. I do believe that if you do stuff that like this guy's going to meet me one day.
This is a great ending point. This is a great ending point. Hold on. This is going to be great. This is fantastic.
No, and I'm not. I would never do anything to him. I would never touch him. No way. But he will meet me someday.
But that's what
He's going to run into me one day, and I would never touch him or do anything. But one day you're going to run into me, and you're going to be sorry. It's like, why would I be sorry if you're not going to do shit?
You're implying that I'm stronger than him. You are. You're implying that I'm stronger than him. Therefore,
I am stronger than him. Of course. Yeah. You know that. But he will meet me one day.
And then what?
And then it might be a tough conversation to have because I'll ask him probably just to repeat what he said. And we can have a conversation like.
Okay. So then he repeats what he says. What are you going to do?
Thank you very much. And continued success to you.
If I run into him, I'm going to say thank you very much and continued success to you. Well, fuck. There's more of this video to go over. We couldn't begin to get to all of it. I've got to piss like a racehorse.